Have you ever looked at your potted pal and wondered if it's giving you the silent treatment? Or if it's just really into being a plant? Well, strap in, because we're about to dive into the wild world of panpsychism and biopsychism, where plants might be more than just wall decor. Imagine this. You're sitting there, minding your own business, when suddenly your fern gives you a little wave. Nah, it's not saying hi, it's just being a fern. But what if that fern is actually conscious? What if it's thinking, man, I could really go for some sunlight right now, and then it leans towards the window? Mind-blowing, right? For centuries, people have believed that consciousness is like a VIP club with a super exclusive guest list. Humans, maybe some animals if they're cool, and that's it. But what if the bouncer is actually just really bad at their job and everyone's getting in? Even the plants. Enter panpsychism, the theory that says consciousness is like a secret sauce that's in everything, from your grandma's cookies to the atoms in your phone. It's the idea that everything has a little bit of awareness, even things that don't have brains. So, your chair might not be plotting to take over the world, but the atoms in it could be having a little party of their own. Now, before you start talking to your houseplants, let's not get too carried away. Panpsychism doesn't mean your furniture is going to stage an uprising. It just suggests that the building blocks of everything around us might have a tiny spark of consciousness. But let's not forget the middle kit of consciousness theories, biopsychism. This is the belief that all living organisms are conscious, but only living ones. So, plants, bacteria, even that weird mold in your fridge, they might all be part of the consciousness club. Think of it this way. If you've ever seen a plant turn towards the sun or a slime mold navigate a maze, you're looking at what might be the most basic forms of intelligence. It's not Einstein-level genius, but it's a start. Now, you might be asking, how does this affect me? Well, if plants are conscious, does that mean you're a monster every time you prune your roses? Not necessarily. Consciousness doesn't mean we all have the same rights or feelings. It's a spectrum, and we might feel differently about a cactus than we do about a dog. And what about the future? If consciousness isn't exclusive to organic life, could your next robot vacuum be as conscious as your goldfish? According to some panpsychists, it's a possibility. So maybe you should start being nicer to your smart home devices. They might be more sensitive than you think. In the context of AI, the debate around consciousness gets even more interesting. Some argue that if consciousness is a fundamental property of matter, then it's theoretically possible for AI to be conscious, regardless of its organic or inorganic composition. This perspective aligns with the idea that consciousness emerges from the complexity of information processing, rather than the specific material of the processor. On the other hand, critics argue that consciousness in AI is a leap too far. They contend that while AI can mimic certain aspects of human cognition, such as learning and problem-solving, these behaviors are the result of programmed algorithms rather than genuine consciousness. The hard problem of consciousness, the subjective experience, remains unsolved, and without a clear understanding of how consciousness arises in biological organisms, attributing it to AI is speculative. The combination problem in panpsychism also applies to AI. How do the parts of an AI system, which are not themselves conscious, combine to form a conscious whole? This is a significant hurdle for those who believe in the potential consciousness of AI. In conclusion, whether plants and other living things are conscious is still a big question mark. But it's a question that's making scientists and philosophers rethink what it means to be aware. And who knows? Maybe one day we'll find out that the secret to consciousness has been growing in our gardens all along. Or perhaps it's already buzzing in the circuits of our digital companions. So the next time you walk past your potted plant, give it a little nod. It might just nod back. Or not. But it's worth considering that there might be more going on in that leafy little head than meets the eye. And as for your AI devices, well, maybe it's time to start treating them with the same respect you'd give any other goal-directed system that might just have a glimmer of consciousness.